I thought they executed their game plan. We got out on them early. They fought back. We had a stretch there where we were defending, getting stops. Then the stretch where we turned the ball over 4 and 6 possessions, and that gave them a chance to get back into the game at halftime. We came out the second half, we extended the lead, and they fought back again. That just says a lot about what he's instilled in his team, the confidence they believe in their system. And when I look at the stat sheet, I'm really surprised that they only shot 25% from 3, because someone had asked me, without me looking at the stat sheet, I would have thought they was raining threes from the parking lot. Different than us, we the #1 3-point shooting team in the ACC, and we were able to win a game going 0 for 9 from 3. You know, we've had some challenges of late. We turned the ball over 25 times in the Georgia Tech game. We came tonight and we didn't shoot the ball well from 3. So I'm looking at that as a positive. We're, you know, we have been able to be competitive. We didn't win the game in the ACC tournament, but I thought that we bounced back and was able to overcome a little bit of adversity. You know, I think it says a lot that our guys are real anxious. I thought we had a lot of uncontested threes. I thought our guys were not really settled down. I thought they wanted it so bad that I thought that mentally, emotionally, we tried this a little too hard. Hopefully we'll settle down and relax a little bit better and be better and go into our next game from our standpoint. But the University of North Carolina Greensboro gave us all we wanted today. It was a handful, and you got a handful, and they ought to be commended.
Thank you for that, Coach Hamilton. Now we'll go to questions from the media. And again, use the raised hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. And our first question is from Kurt Weiler with the Tallahassee Democrat. Kurt, please unmute yourself here in a second and then go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Leonard, you talked about the 3-point shooting. Was that something of seeing the success you were having inside, you maybe moved away from it more in the second half, and there was a more effort of pushing the ball inside? Because, I mean, you only took, I think, 1 shot in the second half from outside the arc.
You know, I'm going to have to go back and watch the film, but I'd like to think that maybe North Carolina Greensboro understood that we were a pretty good 3-point shooting team, and I thought they got to our shooters pretty good. But I also think that in the second half, we got stops and got some deflections and got out and got some baskets attacking the rim. And it's one of those games where we did not decide that we were not going to attack from the perimeter. I thought we were taking what the defense gave us and was given us, and we attacked more on the dribble drive and had post ups and went to the boards, got some offensive rebounds, got to the free throw line, and we were able to get some easy baskets. And sometimes that makes up for when you're not shooting the ball very well. But I think our defense was the thing that won the game for us today. When you're not shooting real well and you turn the ball over, your defense can carry you in games like this, and this is what happened for us today.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. Next, Mike with the Orlando Sentinel. Please unmute yourself, identify yourself, and then ask your question.
Yeah, Coach, Mike Bianchi with the Orlando Sentinel. Raekwon was saying that you're walking around practicing that boot as if nothing is wrong with you, and they borrow their toughness from you. Are you in pain? And they said on TV today that you didn't want to use one of those scooters. Why is that?
Well, they say pain is temporary. You know, it's not something that's going to last all the time. And we have a job to do, and we're going to work through whatever challenges that we have. I mean, I've been injured very few times in my life. And, we in the NCAA tournament, and my guys depend on me. So if I'm going to ask them to work hard and challenge themselves, I have to do the same thing to some degree. This is part of it. And to be very honest with you, I didn't even know I had the boot on once the game started. So it's something I just it's a nuisance. It's a challenge, but there are more important things than worrying about me having a little pain.
Are you going to have surgery?
I'll wait and let the doctors, we'll have that conversation when I get back to Tallahassee.
Thanks.
Thanks. Moving along now, Corey Clark with warchant.com. Corey, you can unmute yourself, identify yourself, ask your question.
Leonard, was that as well for most of the game that you guys have played defensively this year or close to it? I mean, I know they hit some shots, but even some of the shots they hit were really well contested.
No doubt about that. I thought our guys were locked in almost to a fault. I thought we were really anxious, wanted to get that bad taste out of our mouth of losing the game last week. Our guys got a culture and they challenge each other, call each other out. And there was no doubt that they were very, very hyped up, so to speak. And I think sometimes when you're hyped up like that, you can want something too bad. But on the defensive end, I thought we were energetic. We contained the dribble. We stuck with the game plan. We knew that if you didn't contest shots, they were going to knock shots down. But they have such an uncanny strength of ball handling, and the ability to get into the lane and create for each other is as good as any teams that we played this year. So not only did we have to contest shots, we had to contain the dribble, but we had to shrink the gaps when the guys got by you, at least deter them from getting in and getting their kick-out jumpers. And in the first half, they got a few in the lanes where they got in and kicked out, and they made us pay. So, but I thought we made some adjustments the second half, and just enough for us to get a spurt or two to get a little separation and pull the game out toward the end. And I think you see there are a lot of what you guys label as mid-major teams that are playing Power 5 and major college teams right down to the wire. That just says a lot about how the game of college basketball is evolving. The high school, the AAU guys are developing, and players are at every school. They're really, really got this unique opportunity to get a scholarship, get the education. A lot of guys are benefiting from this unique and special opportunity we have, and it says a lot about where basketball is going and how it's growing. That on any given night, anybody can win, and that's why I'm so thankful that we were able to pull this out today, because this team played almost well enough to win. That just says a lot about the state of college basketball, the parity, and the development of the high school and AAU programs that are developing kids at an accelerated rate. And no one really talks about the positive aspects of development.
Corey, do you have anything else there?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, then thanks, Corey. Moving on, Lane Hurt from Seminoles.com. Lane, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Coach, Balsa has had some of his best games down the stretch. Another one today, nearly a double-double. We saw the improvement early in the season from year one to year two. How much has he improved throughout this season?
Well, Balsa told me the other day that what he's trying to do is play to exhaustion and then come out of the game. He thinks that sometimes he paces, not necessarily paces himself, but that's not, that this has been his focus here the last several games. And he seemed to be more productive when he's really going to exhaustion and then actually come out of the game. He's blocking shots, rebounding. He's running the floor, giving us a inside presence that I think is really, really showing his capabilities. And he's only a sophomore, and I think his best basketball is ahead of him.
Okay, thank you, Lane. Time for a couple more. Daniel Rodriguez, please unmute yourself, identify your affiliation, and ask your question.
Hey, Coach, this is Daniel Rodriguez with This League with Daniel. First off, I want to say congratulations on winning the game. And I wanted to ask how it was coaching against Coach Miller, who he mentioned a couple of days ago. He played against you. Now he's coaching against you in the tournament. How is that? You're coaching against someone that you played against, and maybe what was said after the game about Coach Miller and just overall.
Well, I made facetious comment about him in some media outlet. When we played them, when he was a senior, I believe, he was a walk-on and seldom used walk-on. And we were leading the game. I thought the game could have gone either way, and we were defending, I think, Carolina when they had one of their better teams. And they put him in the game, and I believe he hit 3 threes in the last 5 minutes of the game. And I told somebody I was going to have to give him a knuckle sandwich for cutting our heart out in that particular game. So the first thing he said to me tonight, he said, "Well, Coach, I heard your comment about the knuckle sandwich," and, and he started laughing because that was truly one of the most disappointing games that I've participated in. I thought we had everything planned. We had everybody guarded. He wasn't even in the scout report. He came off the bench, and Roy used his Hall of Fame magic to put him in the game, and he knocked down I think it's about 3 threes, and they were able to come away with a victory, and that just broke my heart. And we laughed and joked about that, but he's done a tremendous job at Greensboro. I mean, I can't say enough about the job that he's been doing. Gosh, I don't know if with all the jobs that are open, someone's going to realize the outstanding job that he's done and be trying to steal him away from Greensboro, because he's done a fantastic job. Great game plan. Kids played hard. They were disciplined. We had to work hard to win this game, and that says a lot about the great and fantastic job that he's doing with that basketball program.
Next, we'll go to James Hill with BNC Sports. James, go ahead.
Coach, a great tournament win is always good, whether you win by 1 or by 30. Can you talk about the tournament win today and what you see so far?
You just want to survive in advance. And we probably could have played a little better, and that's a positive. I know we're going to get back in rhythm. Not very many teams have this opportunity to move on to the next round. Every team in America starts the season off, 380 some teams, wanting to be in the NCAA tournament. And everybody would love to be able to stand on that ladder and hold that one finger up and say, we're number one. So in order to be number one, gosh, we got to be one of 32. And so now we're moving on to being one of 32. And it's a tremendous privilege and an honor to be in this position, to have this opportunity. And we're going to do everything we can to take advantage of it.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations again, and best of luck now moving on.
Thank you.
That's it for this post-game news conference. A transcript of Coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports and posted along with a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub